Hello once again, guys. Now we've gotten finally to the Scream ranking video, which I've been meaning to do for a couple weeks actually. I figure I get this ranking video, then I can focus on doing the pitch thing for next week or whatever. And I might do a Candyman ranking review. There's only a couple movies there. Might do that too. Who knows? Who knows? But right now we're going to focus on Scream. So as the series goes, basically there were 4 movies. There was the original trilogy, then there was the 4th movie, which was supposed to lead to another trilogy, but didn't work out. Didn't make enough money, whatever the case. And then last year we got Scream 5, or Scream, and then we got Scream 6 with this recently. So altogether there are 6 movies in the thing. There was also a series that was out that Wes Craven produced before his passing. There were 2 seasons and a Halloween special of that, and then there was the Scream Resurrection. So I may actually include those in this rankings as well, but I'll separate the TV from the movies because they're separate storylines and all that stuff. So we'll start with the TV one, and then we'll go right into the Scream. So a little bonus for being patient these last couple weeks for me to do some stuff. So cool. Rocking my Spider-Man shirt. Now there's a history on this Spider-Man shirt before I get the Scream video. This actually, I bought this at Fred Meyer's and did not realize that I bought it in the children's section. So it is actually a child large shirt. So I like it because it makes it look like I have muscles, which I have some, but it makes it look like a muscle shirt. So yeah, buff. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. Scream ranking. We're going to start first off with the lowest up to the highest, and this is for the TV series and all that in terms of the enjoyment level. Dead last would definitely be Scream Resurrection. Holy shit, was that bad. It was only 6 episodes. What had happened was they had done the first 2 seasons of the series, and they had a little quick Halloween special as well that MTV had put out that still continued with the same characters and all that after season 2. And then for some reason they had somebody else take it over. I think Queen Latifah produced it or something, which I like Queen Latifah, but what the hell is this? Basically, it's set in Georgia, and it brings back Roger Jackson to do the voice, which that was about the only good part of it. And then it's basically it's a majority African American cast, which, hey, fine, that's cool. Spice it up a little bit for Scream. I have no problem with that. But holy crap. 6 episodes of some of the worst some really bad acting, for one thing. Outside the girl that was, she was on The Punisher season 2. She's pretty good. I've seen her a couple other things. But man, and then Tyga, something like that. It's this rapper that was dating one of the Jenners at one point. He ends up being one of the killers, and it's just like the most unconvincing acting I've ever seen in my life. And look, I mean, Scream killers are usually over the top anyway, but there wasn't even no effort at all from him. It was just like, yeah, I'm the killer, I'm your cousin, I'm your killer. Why? Who knows? It was just, I could not. It was 6 episodes that I wish I could get my time back from watching. So yeah, I watched it on Netflix or whatever, and I was just like, I can't believe I just spent these multiple hours watching this shit. It was not good whatsoever. It sucked, and I'm glad that there was no further things with those characters because it was not good. The only other bonus thing was that Tony Todd showed up at one point, and they had the Scream against. He had a hook, Candyman reference, and they fought and all that stuff. So that was cool, but beyond that, no value in this Scream Resurrection at all. Bullshit. Okay, so back to the rest of the series. I would probably rank the Halloween thing. It was a nice, cute little tie-in to season 2, but it was just it felt very. I know we did last summer a little bit just because they were on an island, but I still know we did last summer is what I'm saying, because they were kind of on a beach thing, and then one of the people there ends up being a fucking nut too. So it wasn't bad. It was enjoyable enough, but it was just it just felt kind of like a tack on to the season 2 and all that. As far as enjoying it, but like I said, I was enjoying the characters and stuff. Like I said, I really liked the characters they established in the show. I thought they were similar to the characters from the movies, but they were still kind of different. And a lot of people didn't like the change in the mask, the ghost face mask. I thought it was a way to make it its own thing. I feel like, and a lot of people didn't like that. That's why Resurrection they brought the mask back. But and I understand doing it for the movies, but I think there wasn't a connection between them and Sidney Prescott and all that stuff. So there wasn't really, it's like this is kind of its own story. And that's what was disappointing about the Scream Resurrection is that we could have continued the story that we were building up to. There was a lot of still mystery around it. But anyway, so yeah, Halloween would be number 3 in that TV ranking. And then let's see, as far as season 1 and season 2, which one did I enjoy more? I'm going to have to go with 2 as the second to the first. So I definitely enjoyed the first season a little more. Mainly because they reveal one of the killers in the first half and the second killer in the second half. And I think I was more impressed with the killer in the first than I was the second. Because in the second season, it ends up, it's revealed that it was the boyfriend. And it was like, we've done that, though. We've done the boyfriend thing, time and time again. It's just like, and I don't know, it just felt like, and I liked his character before that, too. So it's just like, why are we having him be the killer? That's lame. It could have been the cousin, could have been, it would have been a better way to go. But it's still enjoyable. I still enjoyed season 2. And I think the story was developing well. And the main cast is solid. But, yeah, I would definitely say that, yeah. So number 1 on the TV series would be the first season. It's a lot of fun. You have a very Randy-like character in there too, and yeah, and then the one girl I remember she played Sin on Arrow, and so I was like, hey, that girl, and yeah, she was good on here too. I felt, and I liked it kind of like the killer ends up being sort of the Gale Weathers-esque character, but the Gale Weathers is the killer. So I thought that was kind of fun. So that was cool. So yeah, that would be my rankings for the TV series. Now we'll get to the movies. Now this is actually very tough because overall I enjoyed most of the movies. They have their flaws here and there, but in terms of like what was best, what was worst, it's hard to say. Now I do like some of the qualities of the new films, but there's some problems too. So I would say, yeah, if I was to go for rankings, I will start with, there's 6 movies. So I'm going to go with the Scream from last year as my number 6. I still enjoyed it, but I think my problems with it there is, it's not so much that Dewey got killed, it's that we're trying to believe that this short little annoying girl killed Dewey, and also the way they did it made it look like they were towering over him and stuff, and so that kind of lost me. And I don't know, the whole crazed fanboy being the killer thing, I don't know, it just, the problem with that is, yes, there are extreme fans, there are people who have stalked celebrities and death threats and things like that happens. But most of those people are just fucking keyboard warriors. They wouldn't fucking like even know what to do if they were in an actual situation. But yeah, you're gonna have your nuts out there. But I don't know. I feel like maybe it was just me. It was definitely a commentary on the toxic fans, and that's fine. Scream has always done some good commentary on the horror and things like that. But it just was. I don't know. For me, it just feels like this whole stab movie thing being the catalyst for it. I'm like, like the horror movies things work, but it's like, I don't know. The whole stab thing was kind of entertaining in the trilogy, but it's kind of, I feel like the stab thing has run its course. Like they made more stab movies than have actual Scream movies. So it's like, oh my God, just end the stab thing already. Like, can we get a better motive? So it's like, I don't know, I like to have the motive be somewhat interesting, or some kind of relation or some reason for them to do it, rather than this, well, they ruined the stab movies and it's your fault, so we're going to make our own. I don't know. Richie was good. A decent character, I felt. And I like him on The Boys and stuff. Dennis Quaid's kid. But yeah, that one girl, the other killer, I was so glad when she got set on fire. Because, I knew from, I had a feeling that she might have been one of the killers. I wasn't sure about Richie. I kind of went on the fence with him. I wasn't sure if it was going to be him or Jenna Ortega, honestly. But yeah, I think that, by the way, spoilers if we haven't seen these movies. Sorry about that. yeah, but I feel like I had a feeling that either she was going to be one of the killers, or she was so annoying that she just needed to die. So yeah, so it was just kind of like, okay, she felt kind of like a callback to the character that was supposed to be the second killer in Scream 3 that ended up not being, was basically killed off screen, as being kind of psycho. But yeah, she was all right. Don't get me wrong, she was convincing as craziness. But I enjoyed the rest of the cast. I didn't enjoy Randy's. I didn't mind the nephew. He's fine. Cuba Gooding's kid. But like, I don't know, the one girl that played his sister, she got on my nerves more in that movie. And it was just kind of like, just shut up. You're not Randy. You're just not Randy. Sorry. I did like her better than the second one. I will say that. I thought she was better. She's also really good on Yellow Jackets. So it's a good show. Check it out. But yeah, but like, it wasn't anything against the actress. It was just the character was kind of getting my nerves. But and yeah, I think. But I did like the main girl. And I definitely like Jenna Ortega. She's great. So yeah, that would be my number 6 if I had to be honest. So yeah, that would be number 6. So number 5. All right, so I'm gonna go with Scream 3 on that one. Now I think this movie does get a bad rap a lot of times. Now it may have been to the point where like Scream was like, yeah, did we really need a third one? But it's supposed to be a trilogy, so you do what you gotta do. I liked elements of it. I liked the elements of, like Carrie Fisher being in there and stuff. That was cool. Like little nods to trilogy people. That was cool. And you had Lance Henriksen in there. That was cool. And Putty was in there. It's like, I remember being disappointed that they killed Cotton Weary in the beginning, though. I was like, oh, I liked him. He was going somewhere. But, yeah, and then I was kind of surprised that the killer was Roman, because his character didn't really come off. Like, I figured it would have been interesting if Lance Henriksen had been the killer, but I guess he probably would have been more of a red herring, or if Patrick Dempsey had been the killer. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad they didn't go with that, because at least it gave Sidney somewhat of a happy ending there with, goes off with Patrick Dempsey and stuff. Or as some people know him as McDreamy, or whatever the hell they call him. It's a stupid Grey's Anatomy show that just needs to fucking end already. I know some people like it. I'm just like, not for me. I think that Shonda's made a lot of other good shows. That one would not be one of them. It's just a fucking soap opera, and it's in Seattle, and that's all. Seattle, yay, Grey's Anatomy. Just end it. Just fucking end it. It's like SVU. Good God, how many fucking SVU cases do we need? Like, just end the fucking thing already. The regular Law and Order's been done for years, and SVU is still going. It's like, and I like people on SVU, but man, just like, when does it end? When does it end? So yeah, that would be my number. I thought Roman was fine as a killer, being like the half brother basically. It tied back into it. He influenced Billy and Stu, which ties into the whole was there a third killer there? So yeah, I think it's still enjoyable enough. There's some fun moments in there, yeah, and I like Parker Posey too. I think she was good. Yeah, and so it's decent. It's still worth a watch. It's a decent end of the trilogy. Maybe not what everybody wanted. I know everybody has this whole like Stu is gonna be a cult of serial killers. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. That's fucking dumb. If someone gets smashed by an old TV back from your box TV, yeah, he got electrocuted, guys. Not saying you can't survive electrocution, but you can't survive that much electrocution. Not to mention he was already bleeding out from being stabbed. So he's fucking dead, guys. Have your theories all you want, and that's fine. Your little fan theories or your fan fiction. He's fucking dead, guys. He's not coming back. So I'm glad that fucking storyline didn't go through, because that was fucking dumb. And he used it for the following, and well, that was dumb too. I like Kevin Bacon. I like the main serial killer on there, but I don't think it needed 3 seasons. And I don't buy serial killers being in a cult together. Like, it's one thing if it's a cult and they're all together and they do, but like actual serial killers are usually known as loners, guys. That's why they don't want to be around people, because they're loners. So I can't imagine it's like, I'm a serial killer. You're also a serial killer. We should get a bunch of us together. Like, what was the Serial Killers Club? It's just like, or Serial Killers Anonymous? I don't know. It's just kind of goofy. So anyway, that's a mid-rant there. But about the following, like I said Kevin Bacon was good in there, but it was just some of the writing. It's just like, Kevin Williamson, you're good, but like there's times where it's like, But anyway, so that would be my ranking for number 5, would be Scream 3. My next one would be number 4, which would be, I would go with the most recent movie, Scream 6. I enjoyed this. I went with my friend Josh, and we had a good time. Yeah, I thought the kill at the beginning was really clever. You already kind of seen my thoughts on the movie, so I'm not going to go too much into it if you watch our Scream 6 review that I wrote on there several weeks ago. But yeah, no, I thought having the 3 killers was fun. It was kind of nice to see that happen because that hadn't happened. I liked the kill at the beginning where the guy's a ghost face and he gets killed. That was something clever. Like I said, I enjoyed the Randy and nieces and nephews. I can't remember their damn names. As much as I liked her in the first one, I liked the main character a lot more too. In this one, I thought her character was better in this one. I think she was more likable and stuff like that, and you could tell that she was dealing with these issues. I hope we can move on from the Billy Loomis's weird ghost thing, but it's a one odd thing in there. It's just like, what the fuck is going on? I get you want to have Skeet Ulrich there, but it's just like, and that's good to see him good work, but like, it was such a weird thing of like, do you see me? I'm your ghost dad. I'm Skeet Ulrich here appearing in your mirror. Use that knife. But I thought Dermot Rooney was good. I enjoyed the other killers just fine. The girl from Lives of Feather. So it's pretty good. I personally liked it. I liked it better than the last one. I thought it was better. I thought the characters were better, and it was just overall a fun movie. I liked the New York setting. I liked the subway stuff. There were some decent kills in there, and was a little bit predictable on who the killers were. But by this point, we're at a 6th movie. It's not usually too hard to figure out who might be the killer, especially if they have sort of a off-screen death. Then it's kind of like, okay, they're probably not, or how a certain character acts a certain way. You're kind of like, they could be red herring, or they could be the killer. So I thought I thought it was a decent setting. It was cool to have Kirby back as well. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed it, and that would be number 4. All right, so we're getting to the top 3 here. All right, so I'm going to go with Scream 4 as my number 3, which many years ago, I would not have put it there. But I have to say, upon rewatch, I actually like this film a lot more. And I'm actually, when I get to a pitch, this is probably the one I want to follow up the most with a pitch, because I think there was something you could have done with it. Now, yeah, when I first saw it, I was like, Emma Roberts is the killer? What? How unbelievable is that shit? And yeah, but what I've come to understand with the Scream movies is like, you have to have suspension of disbelief with these. You just have to kind of just like, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bump my computer with my hand there. I'm so angry. Anyway, shut up, Adam. Moving on. But yeah, I think you just have to have a suspension of disbelief with them because it's a silly concept anyway. But yeah, what I liked about it, there were some decent kills. I did like the idea of like the sort of Sidney character being the killer, and then having the nerdy, film geek like Randy being the other killer. I thought it was well handled. And the Culkin, Roy Culkin, who was the little kid in Signs. It's funny, I would get him and Karen mixed up sometimes. I'm like, oh, which one is which? I'm like, are they the same? There are 3 brothers. Okay, and I guess there's a sister too. But anyway, but yeah, I thought the kills were decent, and I liked that this was sort of like her being the niece and all that, and just like I want to be basically being like a fame whore and all that stuff, and the original idea was that they were going to leave it open whether Sidney was alive or not. And that she was going to get away with this killing and have this whole I'm the new victim, I'm the new Sidney type of thing to go into another trilogy. I wish it had made more money now. Because I saw it in the theater and I thought, it was decent, but it wasn't like blown away by it. But like I said, I've watched it. It's one of those, sometimes you watch a movie at first and you're like, it was okay, but then you'll go back and watch it like a year or two later, you're like, okay, maybe there's something more to it, But I think there was definitely a good idea there. I think had they gone with that instead of the ending they went with, I think you could have easily gotten a trilogy out of it, or at least another movie. And I'm one of those people that I like all the characters, the survivor characters, but I'm also of eventually you get a new final person, I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street did it, Friday the 13th did it, Halloween kind of did it with Laurie Strode, so it's like they would go back to her and stuff like that, but there's nothing wrong with killing your final girl, there's nothing wrong with killing the other survivor. It's yeah, it sucks to lose that character, but I mean, comic books kill off things all the time, it's comic book movies have killed off characters, so it's I'm not saying that you have to go that route, and I'm not saying you need to, but if they had killed off Gail or Sydney in this one, I wouldn't have been it would have been shocking, but I wouldn't have been I'm okay, well, let's see where the series goes. But so I'm not averse to that. Plus, at this point, with his fourth movie, it's okay, how many times is Sydney just gonna survive this shit? As badass as she is, it's how many times are we gonna go with the Sydney story? So that's what I kind of liked about Scream 6. As much as I missed her character being there, it felt like she wouldn't have really fit the story as well. So it's kind of let's give old Sydney a break there. Let her have a happy life. So yeah, that would be my number 3. So yeah, Scream 4, not bad. All right, the final 2. This one is tough, I'd say, because the original is definitely great for its time, and it's definitely it was a nice launch to what would become a pretty good horror craze. But I really like Scream 2. I actually saw that one several times at the theater. So this is tough because there's qualities to both. Man, I'm going back and forth, and this could change. I could think about this tomorrow and be like, no, I would have gone with that. I guess I'm going to go ahead just by a small inch. My number 2 will be Scream 2, but very close, very close. And I'll tell you why. I really liked Laurie Metcalf being Billy Lewis's mom, because it was actually such a surprise for me, because I wasn't even she was not even on my radar as far as being possibly one of the killers. I didn't even think about it. It was most of the time you're oh, okay, yeah, that person's probably the killer, or that might be the killer, but I'm focusing on these other people. I'm what if Cotton where he was, or they're going back and forth. These other people, well, maybe this person was, or maybe this person. I had a feeling they weren't going to have Jerry O'Connell be the killer, because that would have just been repetition with the boyfriend thing. So I'm okay, cool. They're probably not going to have him be the killer. And then Timothy Olyphant being a killer, that wasn't too big of a surprise. But yeah, when she showed up, and it's oh wow, oh yeah. And let me tell you, Laurie Metcalf is great. She knows how to play fucking out there. She's always been a good actress. Like I said, she's my favorite character on Roseanne, honestly. And yeah, the Connors, that's the less said about that, the better. And yeah, what Roseanne said was horrible, and I'm glad she got kicked to the curb. But that show needs to end. It's not funny. They've lost the plot in terms of being funny, and it's just that's a whole nother rant. But anyway, no, I really liked her as the killer. I like Timothy Olyphant as well. He's good. And yeah, there's some decent kills here and there, and some decent characters. Obviously, I guess killing off of Randy was a big thing that people didn't like. I didn't like it either. I was oh, you gotta kill Randy off. I mean, yeah, he may have eventually got it in the third movie or something, but I didn't like Randy Gillen, so I guess that's what I'll give the edge to Scream 1, because Randy didn't die in that one. And yeah, Randy's kind of the fan. He's the fan. He's the one we're supposed to identify a little bit with, because we're a fanboy in a horror movie. So yeah, but yeah, Scream 2 also, Sarah Michelle Gellar was in it, and that was right around the time that Buffy was big, and I had a huge crush on Sarah Michelle Gellar. My friend actually gotten me this place was called the Nostalgia Store, but it was a cardboard stand-up of Sarah Michelle Gellar for Christmas. So I just had that thing in my room, like a total fanboy, geek, single loser at the time. But not a loser, but I was single at the time. I hadn't met Anna yet, so so I was into Sarah Michelle Gellar. So I definitely was oh, she's in it. Fuck yeah, I'm seeing that shit. But yeah, I really did enjoy Scream 2. So on to number 1, which was of course Scream 1. I think with most of the Scream movies, with a lot of these other series, sometimes the number 1 movie is that's how it started, that's how you got it, and sometimes you have a couple of occasions where it's well, I like this movie a little bit better, even though I do like the original. But yeah, Scream 1, I can remember going to see it in high school, and we went to the movie theater at the mall. I think it was a 8-plex or something like that. It was in the mall. I just know that much. I remember it was in high school. I went with my friend Christy and a bunch of other people. It was like a big group of people. It was like 15 people or something like that. We all went to the theater and, got some popcorn and all that good stuff. I got Mr. Pibb, which had like a really nice cherry flavor to it. Like the fountain Mr. Pibb is like some of the best shit ever. But I'm a soda guy. Probably shouldn't be anymore, but we all have our things. But like it was so much fun. Like going into it, I was like, oh, Wes Craven, cool. I'm a Nightmare on Elm Street guy, and then just all the little things. The funny thing is like Henry Winkler is in this movie playing the principal, and he's not even credited for it. Like you see in the credits, he's nowhere in the credits. Like it's an uncredited role, but like he's still fun though. It's like it's God damn, I keep hitting my stupid phone. Sorry about that, guys. Hope the camera didn't shake too much. I'm just like enraged. I'm just so excited to talk about Scream. But anyway, I'm gonna stop moving my hands and stop shaking the camera like an idiot. But yeah, Henry Winkler is in there as a principal, and like Matthew Lillard, I'd seen him in a couple of things before that, and then Nev Campbell, of course, on Party of Five, Rose McGowan, and it's like there's like Skeet Ulrich is there, and it's like there's a lot of like good characters in there. And like I said, some fun kills. It was fun kind of guessing who the killer was going to be. I was even fooled at first that Billy wasn't the killer when he got stabbed. Didn't even like, now I would have watched that and been like, oh no, he's probably one of the killers. But like at that time, it's like, well, it's the first movie. I was like, I didn't expect him to die. And they're like, oh, okay, there he is. We all go a little mad sometimes, And and the opening kill of Drew Barrymore is really clever, because everyone's thinking, oh, Drew Barrymore's probably the star of this thing. Oh, maybe not. So that was clever, having that opening kill of someone you don't expect to die. Very clever. So I mean, it's a product of its time, very 90s, but like, Scream is fun. It's a fun series. Overall, there's not a lot of like truly, I wouldn't even say really like, there's some that maybe are better than others, but I wouldn't say there's anything like in the series where I'm just like, that was just wall-to-wall awful. There's nothing, I can watch any of those movies. Like, it's not like with Friday the 13th or Halloween where you watch them just because they're in the series. You're like, well, I guess I'll watch this one. And even if you don't really like it and it's not very good, you'll still watch it because you're watching the whole series or something. But with Scream, it's like, I could watch any of them. I could watch any of these 6 movies and still be entertained. I would never watch Scream Resurrection again, though, so just want to let you know that. I'd watch the series. I just wish they'd do another season of it, but finish that story at least. One more season at least. So cool, guys. This is my Scream ranking video, so hope you enjoyed that. I will be back with a Candyman 1 at some point, and I'm going to try to do some pitches next week. I have a little more time on Saturday next week. Just have to do soccer. I had to improv today, but so yeah, cool, guys. Like and subscribe, and like I said, I'll be back with pitches next week for the Scream series, and then maybe after that I'll do a Candyman 1. So maybe I'll save the ranking for when I'm going to do a Candyman 1. But definitely want to do Candyman because Candyman is awesome. Tony Todd. Cool, guys. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe. Have a good night.